I don't. Okay, I'm going to have to start this over because something happened. I'm Margaret Windsor, and I'm the only legal heir there is to the British Crown. Um, I had been given information yesterday, and I don't know if it's legit or it could bounce back to me of thinking that I gave false information. So I'll just put it up here to you because it's on Facebook anyway. It's my understanding they forced my father out, Edward VIII. He was never married to Wallace Simpson, this American spy. It was a total takedown of my father. Now then, I was kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I still have to use that name. Elizabeth sits in my castles. I've been made homeless, deliberately kept homeless. Larry Flynn, I'm showing this because people know who Larry Flynn is, was shot in Georgia, March the 6th of 78. I was doing a book, medical malpractice book, about mind control murders, programming people to shoot, kill, run 18-wheelers into a bunch of people, butcher knife. It's gone so far that now Snowden only touched the tip of the iceberg. They can use mind control on groups and all over the world. All right. This is George, who was planning my kidnapping in 1939 with Roosevelt. I now find that Roosevelt used to visit the royal family. So I want to show this because this is what's been told me and I believe it. The whole thing was to get rid of my father, a beautiful man, lies, everything. With this sorry sot here and with Elizabeth and her father. So, now then, if this is true, first of all, there was an addendum to the forced abdication of my father. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe. My grandmother, Mary, did not approve of her, quoted her as being a commoner. She was a school teacher, sister to Georgia. Okay, now, that was a false abdication. There was an addendum to it. And Sir Winston Churchill had files burned. My birth certificate, hopefully there's one left. And my father's marriage to my mom, all this burned, cover up. So the application, there's an addendum that was legal that made me the legal heir the day I was born. And my father always planned to take it back over. And they had to get rid of me then. Now, I've been told, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up because so much out there is floating around anyway. I don't know, but it sounds true to me. It certainly could be with other information I have. This is a photo of my father. And this is King George V. He's not in there. I don't know what they're saying. Oh, four sons of King George V, my grandfather. Left to right is Prince George, then my father, the Duke of Kent. Okay, I've got this. Okay. Let me go back and do that. It's four sons of King George V. Left to right, Prince George, the Duke of Kent, then my father, Prince of Wales, Prince Albert, the Duke of York, who would later ascend the throne as George VI upon the abdication of Edward. And then there's Prince Henry, the Duke of Gloucester. This is my dad. That was a forced abdication with all the lies and takedown, my God. And they kidnapped me then in 41 and brought me over to Moulton, Alabama, and gave me the name, stole my identity and gave me the name of a dead twin, Peggy, and Carl. Both twins were dead. The family covered it up. So I found out from the British and Germans. And some Americans have helped me, but most of them just, quite frankly, are a part of this mess that has hurt me and killed me, really. Uh, so, anyway, what I'm being told is, first of all, George became George VI. That's Elizabeth's father. That's an illegal lineage, because takedown of my father was illegal, and there's the legal addendum to it. I'm the legal heir, Victoria II. Now then, if this is true, what I've been told, and quite possibly when you get into this, it's a mess. You've got Roosevelt going in over there mixing with the royal family. He's Jewish. You've got, excuse me, I've had fumes pumped in here, and oh my God, how sick. I hope it's alto. Okay, anyway, let me just say this. First of all, my father was the legal heir, and I am the legal heir. So George VI, Elizabeth's father, is illegal anyway. Now, I'm being told, and I believe it, I don't know if it's true, that the only legal heir here is my father. The other four are not even my grandfather George V's sons. They're his wife Mary's sons, which means she had them out of wedlock. Now, I may be telling this. Everything else I have told about what's happened to me, all of it's true. I have no way of knowing. This is where blood tests should be done, and they should pull this man out of Frogmore at Windsor Castle. That's where they buried him and this woman. What a joke. What a sick joke. And see if their blood matches my father's, but then where's my father? How'd they get rid of him? He was alive in 1986, in the October of 86, and so was my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. I know that for sure. So what'd they do with his body? Because this man was buried claiming to be my dad in about 1974. So now then, I'm going to show this. This is the real King Edward VIII, my dad. This is a double that did all these little gimmicks of unclothing and all this, and all of it lies about my dad, his behavior and everything. So I'm going to move on from here now. And I probably literally am if I can get out of here fast enough and live. I want to put this up, and I doubt that it'll go. But in all of this is Jews that are involved in all this. Take down on my father and everything. And then, of course, the lovely Irish, the Kennedys. Doesn't matter, my mom's O'Keefe, right? So now if I can get this in here. On the Watergate tapes, I had worked for the district attorney in 1980, and I'm going to leave out the background on it. What had just been done to me. I had been given antifreeze and should have died. It was a miracle I didn't. I was illegally stuffed in a car and taken to Moulton and had to live with Lina Dempsey, the mother of the twins. This horrible woman that killed her twins, Dempsey. I went to work. She was trying to kill me because she was afraid the book I wrote would be published and everyone would know who I am and about the dead twins. So now then, worked for the DA, and when I went there, his name was Simpson, Fred Simpson, district attorney in Huntsville, which is where NASA, Marshall Space Flight Center, and all that is. So he is... Simpson was a nice man. I worked there till he was replaced in December, and that's when John Lennon was killed. Mind control was used on the shooter, Mark David Chapman. They even used my father's name in it. Mark is in my son, and David is my father's name, what he was called. He's Edward VIII. And C was the Chapman, last letter in first letter in Childers. So, and I lived at Warren House Apartments. So you've got the clues to my identity that I would find out a couple of years later. The Warren House is the Warren Commission covered up the Kennedy uh, assassination because, quite frankly, it would lead right back to the kidnapping of me. He and that bunch kidnapped me and brought me there, and the horrors they've done to me. And of course, Simpson is what, as of Wallace Simpson, that was a lie. They helped take down my father, who married an imposter. Now, I'm never going to get this up, but I want to say this again. I don't think I've tried to put this up. It all went wrong a while ago. See if I can find it here. This is my father. I'm being told, and everything else I put up is true. That happened to me and everything. Well, this is true. I have no way of knowing, but it's out there, and I don't know. But what it means is, first of all, that George VI, Elizabeth's father, they're war criminals, is not the legal heir. He wasn't in line. Now then, here this says that these four sons of King George V, that's my grandfather, my father's father, was married to Mary. I'm being told that my father is the only one that's the legal heir of the family. The rest of them were sons of Mary's, my grandmother's, but they are really would be half brothers, I suppose, to my father. They're not. Their father is not George V, the legal heir, passed on to my dad and then to me. They aren't even in line for it. You don't follow the line of a woman that married. That would be like saying Mountbatten, you know, to Elizabeth, which they're both illegal. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. They're not even in line. So George is illegal to begin with. Now, why the press hasn't picked up on any of this Roanoke Times is now owned by Warren Buffett, and I understand he's a British citizen. He's a million time heir over. He is supporting Hillary Clinton, and I, the legal heir of the British Crown, am sitting in here being run from place to place. It's unreal. I'm tortured. Every law in the book broken. Now, I wanted to get this up, and I probably can't. Let me see. I won't get it up. I wanted to tell about the Watergate tapes. When I went to Fred Simpson's store, they pretend, well, they pretend role playing that they were playing the Watergate tapes, the 18-minute gap. Okay, it's caused memories to come back even in the shape I was in. Now I'm going to bring in, before this goes off, if I can, and I'm not going to get it done, so I'm going to try to put these both up. I'm just going to go back to back and put them up in Facebook and YouTube, okay?